Every year, hundreds of would-be scholars apply for a scholarship at Gray's Inn. But students can only apply to one inn, so choosing wisely is the key. For many, it's make or break. The pressure on funding is immense. But how are these vital scholarships actually awarded? Is the process fair? And why does it take so long to hear back? I'm Lisa, I'm a Hale Scholar, and I'm going to take you inside Gray's Inn to reveal the answers. We're going to meet the people involved and find out what goes on behind the scenes. It's early November and the deadline for the scholarship application has been hanging over you. It's a long form to complete, it's time consuming, but it's done and gone. So, what happens next?
It's a really busy time of year. We get about 350 applications a year. The great team in the education department here, part of their job is to make sure that the scholarship committee has all the information it needs in order to make proper decisions. And so it's really, really important. I can't stress that enough. It's really important to fill in the form correctly and fully and to tell us everything you want us to know about why you're going to be a good barrister.
So we received all the applications now for this particular window. What happens now is that we go through each one to make sure that the references have been submitted. For whatever reason, the referee may not have made the deadline in time, so then it falls to us to contact the applicant directly to ensure they are aware of the situation. They will then contact the referee and the reference will be submitted to us with a bit of an extended deadline so they have a bit of time to get it into us. Once that's all done and dusted and we have a complete application, that will then be sent off to the shortlisters.
Some inns, they interview everybody. Why do Gray's do a paper sift?
I think there's two main reasons. The first is that getting a scholarship from Gray's Inn is obviously a big ask. You have to have a high level of competency and you have to be able to demonstrate that through the form, and we just don't think it's fair to get people into interview when they've got no chance of getting through the other end of the interview. The second, and I think probably the main point, is that we put a lot of store by written advocacy. You have to be able to write persuasively, concisely and clearly if you're going to be a good barrister. And we think the form is a good way of showing that off. So I can't stress enough to people who are applying, your form is really important. It'll be read by a lot of senior people, and so you really need to put the effort in.
Some people might be concerned that they won't make the cut because they went perhaps to the wrong school or don't come from a privileged background.
I completely understand the concern, but it's absolutely not the case here. We go out of the way to make sure we spot talent wherever it is, irrespective as to background. We want to filter people in, not filter people out. Many of us on the committee got to the bar because of a Gray's Inn scholarship. It was our route to the bar. And as part of that, we're really keen on equal opportunities. All the people involved are trained in equal opportunities. We want to make sure that we find the best people from whatever background, from whatever ethnicity, who are going to be the barristers of the future.
So tell us about the shortlisting panel. Who are these people and why are they chosen?
Well, there's a very broad range of barristers on the shortlisting panels. We have judges, senior QCs, juniors, people who've even been through the scholarship process quite recently. And the whole idea is we get a wide range of experience and diversity and people from different life experiences all coming onto the shortlisting to make sure that we have a balanced process. The important thing to remember that all these people are there with the same objective, and that objective is to find the best barristers for the future. They're volunteering their time because they all want to find the best barristers for the future.
Can you tell us what you're doing?
Yes. So between the two of us, we have about 60 applications, and it's our job to go through them all and determine which candidate should be called for interview.
So what are you looking for? Isn't it subjective?
No. We have a fixed criteria upon which we judge all applicants. First of all, we look individually at the applications and make our own individual recommendation, and then after that we discuss it together, and if we both agree, then the candidate goes straight to interview.
Do you always agree?
No, not always.
But usually with a bit of discussion, we do.
What happens if you can't agree on a particular application?
Well, we'll talk it through. We all come from different backgrounds, have different perspectives, have our own different foibles and idiosyncrasies. But nonetheless, what we've got to try and do is ensure that the right candidate and the most deserving candidate gets the award. And that's the whole aim of what we do.
And if you still can't agree?
If we really cannot agree, what we'll do, it'll be referred to another panel, and hopefully they will come to an adjudication which is the right result. If that doesn't happen, then it'll go to another panel. So eventually you could have at least 6 different people seeing the application in order to make a considered and proper decision.
And the reason behind that is that we want to make sure no really talented individuals slip through the net. We want to interview as many people as we can.
I remember my nerves before my own interview last year, which was in this very room, where I met a panel just like yourselves. So everyone gets 15 minutes per interview?
Yes, that's right. One of the questions that we like to ask is a topical question to which there's no right or wrong answer. Rather, we're much more interested in how candidates develop their oral argument and their advocacy. We award scholarships entirely on merit, and we all work to a tight marking sheet that scores candidates against 4 criteria. The first of those is intellectual ability. How a candidate has performed in university exams and in school exams will be obvious from their paper application already. So it's really at the interview stage that we get the chance to see what they're like and how quickly they can think on their feet.
We're also looking for motivation and potential to succeed at the bar. So a candidate needs to demonstrate that they have a genuine interest, they've researched what the courts do, what the profession is about. And obviously we take all of that into account. We look at potential as an advocate, and what we're looking there for are what they've demonstrated by way of oral and written advocacy skills. That can be through public speaking, voluntary work, debating, or even teaching. And finally, we score personal qualities such as independence, self-reliance, integrity, and the ability to work with others. It's important, of course, that a member of the profession is able to relate with clients, with members of chambers, and also with the public at large. And very often what we're looking for is life experiences and personal experiences that can demonstrate all of these qualities, not necessarily strictly legal experiences.
So tell us how you prepare for each candidate. Do you decide beforehand who is going to ask what question?
Well, we go to great lengths to make sure that each candidate is treated in the same way. And part of that is preparing in advance. So we'll all have read the application forms and we'll have identified particular areas that we want to discuss in the interview. Our aim is to make candidates feel comfortable and as relaxed as they can be. We really want to give them the best opportunity to show us their very best qualities.
What happens next?
Then we get to the wrap-up meeting. This is the point at which we score all the candidates and we work out where the scholarships are going to be awarded. What happens is that we have a meeting at the end of each evening of interviews to try to calibrate results to make sure we're all on about the same level. And there'll be some people who are obviously going to get scholarships because they're right at the top, and there'll be some people who won't be getting scholarships towards the bottom. The arguments or the discussions always happen in the middle bit, and there's quite often fireworks.
What do you mean?
Well, some people obviously see different qualities in the individual candidates, and we'll have a discussion about those, and some people might say, well, that candidate looks like they've been undermarked, and other people might say, we think that candidate's been overmarked, and we'll have a debate about that and come to a consensus decision. With the senior scholarships, we have an individual debate on each candidate because we want to make sure that we're giving lots of money and a very prestigious prize to people who really deserve it and really need it. At the end of the whole process, we sit down and we look at the list of people we're awarding scholarships to and the list of people we're not awarding scholarships to, and we all have to be happy with that list. And when we come out of that meeting, sometimes after a lot of hours, we're all happy that we're giving the scholarships to the right people.
We email every scholarship applicant to inform them of the outcome of the process. For the successful ones, this is the best bit. I've had some amazing responses from our new scholars. It's a really rewarding part of the job.
I was about to board a plane when I found out the good news. I was coming back from the USA, so I spent a 9-hour flight home very, very excited. At this point in time, award winners don't know exactly how much money they'll be receiving from the Inn. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. They'll know they're going to get the basic award, but Gray's Inn has a lot of money put to one side to top that up when it's needed under the means test. For that, we have the financial information form that you'll be asked to fill in if you're going to get an award, which contains a great deal of questions and provides us with a lot of information as to financial situation. But it's not just about finances, it's about family circumstances, caring responsibilities, or any particular challenges individuals face. In some cases, we're able to make very large awards and even provide a flat here as well, which can make the difference between people being able to go to the bar and not going to the bar at all. Each candidate's story is unique, and we try to treat each candidate uniquely and tailor a scholarship to meet their needs.
So, how did you feel when you found out you'd been awarded a scholarship?
It was a completely surreal moment. I remember checking the email twice to see it was sent to me, seeing the amount they had given me and the award I got. It was just so great, and I had to phone my parents to let them know. They were completely speechless on the phone for about 2 minutes, and I had to make sure they were okay. And then in September, when I came to actually get the cheque, when I got it, I had to double check again it was sent to me. And then I had to go to the local bank, and I carried it like my life depended on it. It was truly surreal.
So, how did you feel when you found out that you'd been awarded the scholarship?
Initially, I actually didn't react. When I got the email, I just looked at it in disbelief for a while and closed it, trying to process it. A few moments later, I told my best friend who I was with, and she was trying to get me to react and be happy about it. But it took me a while, and then I randomly burst out saying, "I'm a Gray's Inn Scholar," and we just ran down the corridor repeatedly saying, "I'm a Gray's Inn Scholar." It was fun.
So there you have it, a large team of people working behind the scenes to make sure that scholarships go to the most deserving candidates. So if you have what it takes to be a barrister, then Gray's Inn will be behind you, helping you to achieve your calling.